Hello and welcome to City Corner. I'm your host today, Todd Blackstock. On today's show, we're going to introduce you to Pastor Kathleen Wilder of the Centenary United Methodist Church here in downtown St. Louis. And we're going to show you how they're teaming up with Roberto Gallardo and Ozzie Smith's restaurant to help fight homelessness. So stay with us for City Corner, coming up next. And welcome to the show. Our first guest today is the pastor of the Centenary United Methodist Church here in St. Louis, Pastor Kathleen Wilder. And Pastor, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on all your great success.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Now, it looks like this is a new name. The Bridge is one of the homeless shelters that you guys are supporting right now. And that actually comes right out of your congregation.
Right. The Centenary Church was the original founders of the ministry, and we were originally called Centenary Cares. But we decided to make it more of an ecumenical ministry, and so we looked for a new name to stimulate what we do in the way we service people. So
now the name came, I guess, in 2009 to The Bridge. And I was looking at Webster's dictionary, and a second definition described a bridge as a time or means of connection or transition. And that's kind of what your homeless shelter and ministries is really all about, isn't it?
It really is. We're trying to stand in the gap for people, to bridge them from where they are to help them to get home. And that's our whole purpose, is to guide the way home for all of the guests that come to the Bridge.
Now, the Centenary Methodist Church has been around since, I guess, the early 1800s. Can you maybe give us a little history of the congregation back when its, I guess, location was around 4th Street?
Okay. Centenary started in 1839, and that's the reason why it's called Centenary, because it was started on the 100th anniversary of Methodism. And so we were downtown in 1839, and then later moved out west in 1869 to where we're currently located at 16th and Olive.
Now, you're located right now, I guess, kind of within the Plaza Square Apartments, which is pretty much in the heart of downtown. It's a fantastic location there. Now, at some point, you know, there was some urban sprawl going on. Many businesses, churches, companies were moving to the west or moving out of downtown, but it was important for Centenary to stay downtown. Why was that?
Well, Centenary actually had a big meeting on a New Year's Eve night in 1899, in which there was a question: do we move out west with all the other churches and businesses, or do we stay here? And the people of Centenary in 1899 made a commitment that even if we would be the only church to remain downtown, we would stay there so that we could be a haven for the weary and a place of rest for those who needed it. And so we have committed to be part of the downtown community for all of our life, and we'll be there for all of our life.
Now, it's just a beautiful facility inside. I mean, if you look in there, it's grand. It's really held the test of time, hasn't it?
It's amazing. It's a beautiful sanctuary. It has curved staircases in the front. It has marble entrances. You cannot replace it. It is absolutely beautiful, and it seats 1,700 people. For its capacity.
Wow, that's amazing. I drive by there sometimes, and you see a lot of weddings and things going on there, and a lot of activities taking place.
Yes, it's a church that's committed to being part of the center of the community.
Now, how did you actually get involved? I know you had a pretty nice life and job going when you decided to get involved with the church. Give us a little background on how you got involved.
Oh, well, I was in corporate America for about 17 years, and realized it wasn't enough. That even after a successful day of work, I didn't feel like I'd made a difference. And so I left corporate America in July of 2000 and responded to the call of ministry to serve God in the urban St. Louis area. Went to seminary, and I've been a full-time pastor with the United Methodist Church for about 7 years now.
Now, I understand that the homeless people that visit your shelter, on a daily basis are all actually called guests. That's kind of neat because a lot of times homeless people aren't really referred to as guests. Why is that?
Well, a lot of other agencies refer to them as clients. But we understand that they are guests, and it comes from a theological premise, really. Matthew 25 says that when we feed people, we are feeding Christ. And so we treat them as if they are Jesus Christ coming in to eat at our tables, and treat them as if they are our guest. It's part of sharing human dignity and helping them be valued of sacred worth.
Now, one question I do have is most homeless shelters, they put people up at night and then they leave during the day. It's kind of just the opposite over at the bridge.
Yes, it is. We're open during the day when a lot of the other shelters are not available for services. So we provide 60 hours of shelter during the week when the other shelters are closed, during the day when they have no other place to go. And then we also have 15 different meal slots that we provide meals for the people, as well as different resources.
You're talking about meals. I understand that, you provide many meals, and 6 days a week you're doing this. How many meals, a week do you actually provide, and on what days are they available?
We're averaging about 3,000 meals a week now.
3,000?
Yes. We have a great partnership with Operation Food Search and some other agencies that provide most of our food. And we serve dinner on Sunday evening, breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday through Thursday, and breakfast and lunch on Friday.
Okay, so you guys do get a day off on Saturday?
Right, for weddings.
Now, just taking a quick step back, I guess if someone's unfortunate and they're homeless, they could be out all night, just trying to stay warm, or, whatever they have to need to do for shelter. So at what time in the morning can they come in and maybe just lay down and get a little rest or do something, just to get out of the elements?
We open our doors at 6:30 in the morning, and we're open till 6 at night, Monday through Thursday.
Now, can a non-homeless person come in and enjoy your services? Because you think, there's people out there that it's pretty tight, and they might need a meal or two to get by.
We actually have several people, maybe even 20% of the people who eat in our dining room, who are what we would refer to as food insecure. And that means basically they have just enough to get by, to maybe pay their rent or to maybe pay for their medicine, but not enough to be able to buy their groceries as well. So they'll tend to come for breakfast or dinner and augment their salaries by having the food that we offer at that time.
Right, and that could be the difference between maybe paying your rent or losing your rent. So either do you buy food and lose your rent, right, or do you maybe pay your rent and then maybe come seek some help? That would seem to be a great thing there. Now, there's also some other things you provide, restroom and phone facilities, and down the road, even hygiene materials.
Right. You don't realize how important it is to have access to a restroom until you don't have access to a restroom. It really impacts your human dignity. And so having restrooms available for people who are living and sleeping in emergency shelters is important. Having access to a telephone to be able to call to see if you can get a day job, to try to make some money and break the cycle of homelessness, or to maybe contact family to let them know you're still alive. And then we also have other services that we provide, like mailbox. We have over 750 people that get their mail at the church every day that we're open. And that's important because you can't really apply for a job without an address.
That's really important. It's amazing that you can help people provide that address and they can go inside. Now, your facility also provides information and helps people get documents that they may not own to get a job or to be eligible for some kind of benefits as well.
Correct. We work with many different agencies through the continuum of care, and a couple of the agencies will come and help people get their birth certificates and their state IDs so that they can get access to additional services or to hopefully get a job.
Now, are you there on site, or maybe tell us a little bit about your staff, what someone can expect when they come in there? Can you just walk in off the street and say, hey, I need to use the phone, or the restaurant, or is there a certain procedural guidelines you must follow?
Well, anyone is welcome. Anyone's welcome for services. Anyone is welcome to volunteer. Anyone is welcome to come and see what we do. We do maintain security, so we do have everyone go through wanding just to make sure that no weapons are being brought into the building to keep it safe for everybody. And then, depending upon what your needs are, you can either go to the front desk to get your mail, or go into the dining room to get some food, or use a phone, or use the restroom. And then there's other services that you can participate with too if you have need of them.
Now, say you want to come in and use the computer. What do you have to do for that? And how do you go about maybe establishing an address? I mean, do you have your own little mail slot, or how does that work?
Well, for the computer, we have a wonderful computer and library room, and people use that to look for jobs and look for housing. And we found that the people who use those resources have a 10% chance greater of getting a job or getting home. And so we have volunteers that are there to support people, to learn how to set up their email address, to look for housing, to look for a job, to create a resume during the morning and afternoon in slower times. And then in regards to the address for your mailbox, you just give the street address for the church, 1610 Olive, and your name. And when your mail comes in, we set up a separate slot, a hanging file folder for you.
All right, fantastic. Well, we understand that you're going to be teaming up with Roberto Gallardo and Ozzie Smith's restaurant for a neat event, so hold tight, and we're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back as Roberto Gallardo, the owner of Ozzie Smith's downtown restaurant, will join the discussion. We'll be right back. And welcome back to City Corner. I'm your host, Todd Blackstock. Our topic today is fighting homelessness. In our first segment, Pastor Kathleen Wilder joined us with the Centenary United Methodist Church here in downtown St. Louis. And joining the conversation right now is Roberto Gallardo. He's the owner of Ozzie Smith's downtown restaurant. And before we get the discussion back to homelessness, we're going to talk a little bit about Ozzie's restaurant downtown and a little history here with Mr. Gallardo. Roberto, I always referred to you as Rob, but Roberto.
Rob's fine. Rob's fine as well.
Rob's good?
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on here today. Ozzie Smith's restaurant, it's moved downtown. Things are going great. It's baseball season right now. You must be very excited.
There's a lot of energy downtown, and we are excited about it. And we can't wait till Tuesday when the Cardinals come back to town. So it makes a difference when the Cardinals are in town, certainly for us.
Now, you've been in the restaurant business probably your whole life. Your father, Ramon Gallardo, was the guy behind the force behind Casa Gallardo. Now, as a young child working there, and it was such a busy concept, you must have thought you'd probably be in the restaurant business your whole life, huh?
Well, I didn't think it then, I thought just being a little gopher busboy and just kind of getting in the way at times. I was 10 when that first opened, so, it's been a while, and it's amazing how it's still there after all these years. A lot of history, but I didn't think at the time I'd be doing this,
Now, Ray sold Casa Gallardo for, he did real well, and then he opened up a few other restaurants out at Westport, teaming up with Pat Hannon with Ozzie Smith's Westport location, which was huge for many years, and Patrick's at Westport. So after, 20-plus years out at Westport, Pool Holes 5 moves in. Now all of a sudden there's 2 sports-themed restaurants. And if anybody that reads the newspaper knows, there was a little bit of a conflict there with Westport and Turley Martin as whether they could support 2 sports-themed restaurants with two such high-profile individual names.
Right. It's tough. You know, I think Westport's in a transition mode right now, and it is, you know, a struggle to, you know, support two high-profile sports bars anywhere. I don't think, not just Westport, but I think anywhere. So, you know, Ozzie's had a great run for 20 years there, and Westport was awesome, and Maryland Heights, and, you know, the whole surrounding areas. So we want to continue that downtown.
All right, and Pastor Wilder, you guys are teaming up with Ozzie's Restaurant, and you're having a huge fundraiser for the homeless coming up in April. Can you tell us about that?
Well, we're really excited that Ozzie would be willing to support us with this event. We are going to be having a Getting Downtown with Ozzie on April 25th, and from 5 to 9, we're going to be in Ozzie's downtown having great food, great fun, and raising money to end homelessness.
So, Rob, is Ozzie going to be there that day?
Ozzie will be there, yeah.
And what's his function going to be that day?
Well, when he's there, you know, obviously the room lights up. You know, he brings such energy there, and he's going to be signing autographs, taking photos, and just doing what he does, connecting with the fans.
You think he's going to be doing any backflips or anything that day?
He probably could, yeah.
He might.
Yeah.
And rumor has it there may be a Fredbird appearance at some point.
Yes, he's going to be there as well, and it's going to be for all ages, so people can bring their children. It's a family-friendly event.
Some other things going on. I understand there's a home run derby going on as well, so people can actually get interactive.
They can. We upstairs on the second level, within the We program, you know, kids or adults can compete for the home run derby. So it's interactive for both, you know, kids and adults.
Now, is this going to be an indoor event, or is it going to be an outdoor event, or a multiple? You know, like a multiple event?
It's going to be both. We're going to close the street at 15th Street in Washington, right in front of the restaurant. And it will be, you know, outdoors. We'll be grilling outside. The patio will be going. And then, you know, there'll be music, and it'll be both indoor and outdoor.
Pastor Wilder, how can you obtain event ticketing and information for this?
Well, there's an easy way is through brown paper tickets. Mm-hmm. You can just go to that website, or contact the web bridgestl.org, and then Ozzie's also has it on their website, I believe, as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, fantastic. Now, Rob, I know this isn't you're kind of a philanthropic guy. I don't want to put you on the spot or make you nervous or anything, but I saw you at a Bally's one time, and there was a friend of ours, KJ, Chris Jones, and she had a bad accident and like an assault on her, and she was basically deemed paralyzed. And I saw you one day at Bally's walking with her on the treadmill and encouraging her. And for a woman that doctors said would probably never walk again or would be paralyzed, I was really impressed seeing you. This was several years ago with her offering encouragement, and you got her up on a treadmill, and she was actually walking right now. Could you give us a little background on that?
Well, I tell you, her story needs to be written because it's quite impressive. She was a victim of an assault, and she's got just tremendous courage. And we were there at Bally's, and she was determined to, progress with her, her disability, and she's just done amazing things. And I did. I helped her, but she helped me more than I ever helped her in a lot of ways. But she continued to do that, and her progress is. Again, it needs to be written. It's a real inspiring story.
We might have to look at that down the road somewhere. Now, I know with the Bridge and the Cincinnati United Methodist congregation, it's very important for you to do partnerships in your continuum program and things like that. How important is it to team up with Rob here and Ozzie's Restaurant and some other places in downtown St. Louis? That's the core, isn't it, of working together?
Well, it is, and that's one of the reasons why we're so excited about this opportunity, is because we really want to be part of the community. And with Ozzie's being willing to help us with this, it's a way that we can not only do a fundraiser, but an education opportunity so that the people who live downtown can have a great night and learn about ways that they can help improve the issue of homelessness in the downtown area. And in some ways, it begins to put the face of a human being on an issue. and it's an educational event, and it's really a good partnership of us working together to make the city of St. Louis better.
You know, I know your father, Ray, has always been involved, and he's always, written gift certificates for organizations and his restaurants over the years. How important do you think it is? How does Ozzie's feel pretty good about this? And what are some other things that you guys like to do down there?
Well, I'll echo what Kathleen said. It's we want to be part of the community, and this is just one of the many things that we're going to partake in. We do get a lot of requests for donations, for gift certificates, and we try to help out as many as we can. Obviously we can't, contribute to all of them, but we certainly, do our part there. We want to continue doing it, so this is great.
Pastor Wilder, how much money are you trying to raise for this event? And with that money that you raise, what is it going to open up down the road with your facilities? I know you're trying to expand some programs and some things. How important is this money that may come in and will come in, and what's it going to go for?
Well, right now we're in the middle of a challenge time with the Feinstein Challenge. So any funds that we raise from this event or through the month of April, it's proportionally matched. So it's a way to give people an opportunity to increase their donation. And then much of the money will go towards the general operating expenses of the day, of the ministry, as well as providing some more equipment for the kitchen and for safety around the building.
Now, I understand that there may be a possibility of computers and internet access down the road. Could some of this maybe go for that? And how important would it be for some homeless people to have access to computers and internet and things like that to improve their situations?
Well, right now we do have computers and internet access for our guests. And our next phase is working towards some showers and having that available so that they have the opportunity to take a shower. And, just imagine having to go 3 or 4 days without being able to take a shower. So this event will help us provide a bit more human dignity and human care for the people we serve.
I guess you would think if someone, is trying to improve their situation and get a job, that would be imperative for them to be able to take a shower and clean up. Then they can go, they can have an address and everything, and it would really help serve their situation.
Yes.
Now, what would be the difference between your organization and, say, a St. Patrick's Center or some of the other ones downtown?
Well, we're sort of like ground zero, where someone who has really not a lot of hope at this point can come. And then we try to connect them with agencies like St. Patrick's Center and Peter and Paul and all the various other agencies within the continuum of care. And so Peter and Paul and St. Patrick's Centers have more programs, job training programs, education programs, while we're really trying to be kind of the place where the first step where people can come, get safety, get their basic needs met, and then get on the journey towards home.
Rob, this must make you feel pretty good being a part of this. Are you just going to be kind of overseeing the day's events there? Are you going to be out in the home run derby part? Or
I'll be
are you
cooking and doing the home run derby and just being all over the place. I wouldn't have it any other way. I want to be actively involved.
Now, when you're talking to Ozzie, I mean, does he still enjoy being out in the public and making the public appearances? Because in years past, he chimes in here and there, kind of strategically, but he's been a little bit behind the scenes in recent years. Do you see him maybe coming out and about a little bit more down the road?
Oh, he always has. Ever since we've opened. I mean, the minute he gets in that door, I mean, I'm telling you, the minute he's there, he's touching tables and he's talking to people. It's just natural, and the guests love it, and he's signing autographs, taking pictures, and it's quite a sight seeing somebody sitting down in a booth, and Ozzie goes up there, and their expression in their face, it's just amazing what he does when he comes into the room. So,
talking about the Cardinals and things, you guys actually, the Bridge and the Centenary United Methodist Church actually benefits from the St. Louis Cardinals as well. We got about a minute or so left here, but I know you wanted to mention some of the great things the Cardinals organizations do for your homeless shelter.
Yes, we are the recipients of the leftover food. This is part of the Cardinals' strategy to be a green baseball team. And so the leftover foods from the each game is put in a cooler, and then we go and collect it, and then we repackage it or whatever for meals at the bridge. And so it's a really benefit for our guests because they get hot dogs and brats, and sometimes they get brisket, and sometimes they get the brownies, which are amazing. And we get the popcorn, and it just makes it a little bit more special, which helps people get hope. The Cardinals gave us 10 tons of leftover food last year, which greatly augmented our operating budget and our ability to serve people.
Well, it's something for you to think about too, Rob. You know, you get a little extra hot dogs or burgers or nachos.
Absolutely.
You could. Hey, before we let you go, phone number real quick for Ozzie's if someone wants to attend the event.
Sure, 314-241-0100.
And anybody can just show up, right?
Absolutely.
And real quick, website, ticket information for you?
bridgestl.org or brown paper tickets.
All right. Pastor Wilder, Roberto Gallardo, thank you very much for joining us on City Corner today. I'm Todd Blackstock. That's City Corner. Thanks for watching STL TV. We'll see you next time.